Warning: this podcast may contain spoilers from whatever TV show or movie is mentioned. Please listen at your own discretion. Welcome to Viewers Anonymous.
Yo, what's going on? I am Scoots Bronson.
And I am S. Foster.
And this is Viewers Anonymous. What's going on with you, Brody?
Man, one of them days today, man. It's been a busy day. It's been one of those bittersweet days, you know what I'm saying? End of the chapter today. But but got new beginnings, so I ain't mad at it, man. It was just a closing of a chapter. But how about yourself, man? How you feeling?
Man, I'm good, man. I got off work early today, so you know what I'm saying? Can't complain about that. Yeah, man, I'm chilling.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. Man, listen. We were just talking beforehand. Listen. Wednesday gonna be a show, man. That's all I'm gonna say, man. Wednesday is gonna be a show, man. It's gonna be a show. I'm telling you, if y'all football. Yeah, man. If y'all football fans, I'm telling y'all better check out the 4-3 on Wednesday. That's all I'm gonna say, man. That's all I'm gonna say.
Listen, OBJ, Aaron Rodgers, making it easier and easier for us.
I'm telling you, man. Hey, content, man. I'm telling you,
all day long.
Hey, me and Uncle Wash used to be like, I remember, man, we'd be like, I don't know, it'd be like the day of, like, because we used to record. Like the last year, it was like we used to record on Wednesdays, and it'd be like Tuesday. I'm like, boy, I ain't got nothing on the docket. I don't know what we gonna talk about. And then that content monster hit. Like, bam, got a show. So yeah, man, that's one of them things, man. So it's gonna be fun Wednesday, man. Hopefully we had a round table. We had it this previous week, so. Hopefully we had a whole panel with us, man, because this is gonna be a very fun episode. Cause some shit is gonna shine in the light, man.
Yeah, for sure. So you ready to get into what we watching, man?
Yes, sir. What we watching?
So what you got, brother?
Oh, I'm up first. So this is a show I've been wanting to start for a minute, and it gave me that Mayor of Easttown vibes. So I've been seeing it. I was like, man, you know what? I took a little break from Sopranos, and I jumped on a show. It's a Showtime show, and I've been telling people for the last couple of years, people is slipping on Showtime. Don't get me wrong, HBO Max is great. HBO always seem to drop a lot of really, really good shows. There's some shows on HBO that I want to start, but don't really have the time for it. But people is really slipping on Showtime. And the show that I just started watching is American Rust. And it's basically a small town in PA. The sheriff, he had left the town to go be a cop in Pittsburgh. Some shit went down in Pittsburgh, so he left Pittsburgh, came back to the small town. There's a murder that happens. There's someone who is taking blame for the murder who technically didn't do it, and like they just sitting in jail because they don't want the other person to get in trouble for it. Then you got like I say, dude, it's so now. Don't get me wrong. Like Mayor of Easttown is a phenomenal show. I just said it gives me vibes because there's not a what's my girl name? What's her name? Star Mayor of Easttown. What's her name?
Oh my goodness.
Kate Winslet. Damn.
Yeah.
There ain't no Kate Winslet type of performance in it. But at the same time, it got all the ingredients of that show. You know what I'm saying? It's not as good as it, but you know what I'm saying? It started out as a murder mystery, but then around by episode 5, they kind of show you who done it. Then there's a drug epidemic that's going through the town, which is it's kind of a good thing because they're really getting this fentanyl thing talked about. Because look, I mean, how many people have we lost, man? I mean, we talk about just entertainer people that we know. We don't know what it's doing to people like us. But like, you know, Matt Miller, Michael K. Williams, you know what I'm saying? Who was the latest one? Somebody just passed from that shit like 2-3 weeks ago. Some shit that was
Fuquan. Damn, I forgot what his last name was, but I know his name is Fuquan.
Yeah, like so this fentanyl epidemic, like it's talked about in the show, because like there's like they show so when this one ex-cop got killed, right? So they show the whole autopsy. And so then when the dude gets done and put the body up, he goes to a whiteboard. And dude, there's like maybe 15 names on the whiteboard, and it's all overdoses from fentanyl. So there's a lot of stuff going on in this small little town in PA, man. And it's turned out to be a really good show. It's not as good as Mayor of Easttown, but it got those vibes to it. So that's what I started watching. American Rust on Showtime.
Cool, man. So I got two. My first one, you know what I'm saying, speaking of overdoses and fentanyl, is Dope Sick. You know what I'm saying? Season 1 on Hulu. Starring Michael Keaton and a bunch of other people. But it's basically just talking about how you know what I'm saying, this one man kind of drove his pharmaceutical company to basically be like the kingpin of the, you know what I'm saying, of pharmaceuticals, of the drug game in a sense. But it's 6 episodes, man. It's on Hulu. I just started the first one. I only got halfway through it, but so far, man, it's real. You know what I'm saying? I've heard like a bunch of people talk about it. I've heard a bunch of people, you know what I'm saying, mention it. So I finally sat down and checked it out, and goddamn, it's some shit on here, bro. So yeah, Dope Sick is my first one, and then my second one, man. Shout out to Jay-Z, shout out to the Bullets and a whole bunch of other people, but they had released all black Western called The Harder They Fall. And it's starring Idris Elba, Jonathan Majors, Regina King, ZZ Beats, or Zazie Beats. I forgot how you pronounce it. But I'm trying to think who else is in it, man. Deion Cole is in it. It's a bunch of Lakeith Stanfield is in it.
Yeah, I couldn't think of his name.
Yeah, it's a bunch of other people in it, but when I tell you, actually, I think dude from Snowfall is in it. Hold on, I'm about to look up the cast, but when I tell you, man, that they did a great job putting this movie together, it's amazing. The story is great. The best thing that I liked about it actually was the fact that they actually used real personalities from Black Western history. So, for instance, like Idris Elba plays Rufus Buck, who is a real, you know what I'm saying, like a real outlaw at the time, and he had his own gang, of course. Mary Fields, Zazie Beetz plays Mary Fields. They call her Stagecoach Mary. Regina King plays Trudy Smith. Jonathan Majors plays Nat Love, who is, you know what I'm saying, a real person as well. Lakeith Stanfield played Cherokee Bill. And then Delroy Lindo, shout out to him, he played Bass Reeves, who's the most famous cowboy of them all. They actually came up with the Lone Ranger off of the story of Bass Reeves. So, you know what I'm saying? It's super dope, man, to be able to see, you know what I'm saying, all these black faces in a movie depicting, you know what I'm saying, characters, but actually using the names of, you know what I'm saying, real, you know what I'm saying, people throughout history. So it was super dope. The story was great. The story was amazing. But it is a Western. They, you know what I'm saying, of course, it got a love story into it as well. It got the good guy, bad guy thing. I think you'll like it personally because it's like Tarantino-esque. So it's like it got that extreme, you know what I'm saying, like that extremeness, you know what I'm saying, lane as far as like the violence goes. It's not like super extreme like how Tarantino goes, but like far as like the gunshots and all that shit, it got a little Tarantino in there. So when I seen it, that's the first thing that I thought of. Like, damn, because I thought he was involved in it at first, and then I found out, you know what I'm saying, he didn't really have too much to do with it. But yeah, man, it's super dope, bro. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? I thought it was super dope that Jay-Z was in this. He had something to do with this. Everybody know how I feel about Hov, man. But yeah, my 2 is Dope Sick and The Harder They Fall. Dope Sick is on Hulu. The Harder They Fall is on Netflix.
I was planning on jumping on both of those. I'm definitely gonna watch that Harder They Fall tonight when we get done. And I'm gonna see if it will surpass my number 1 Western movie of all time. You know what I'm saying?
What?
Man, Tombstone, what you mean?
Oh, yeah. Tombstone ain't got shit on this.
Really? I'm telling you, but Tombstone, but hey, people be slipping on it, man.
Tombstone is a good movie. And this is the funny thing, though, right? So as a kid, I never understood why my grandma was so into Westerns. Like, I never understood why she was so into Westerns until I got older, and then she started breaking down the game of how cowboys came along. So once I understood what cowboys really were and how they came along, that's when I was like, oh, that's why she's so, because she from that, you know what I'm saying? Like her parents kind of come from that. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. So, you know what I'm saying? The older I got, you know what I'm saying? That's when I started learning about like Bass Reeves and all them. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember hearing about Cherokee Bill and like all of these stories and everything. Like I remember the Lone Ranger came on one day and my grandma turned it. And I'm like, Grandma, I thought you like Western. She was like, I never watched that shit. I'm like, why not? She was like, cuz you know who the real Lone Ranger is? I'm like, no, I don't. I was like, I've never seen this shit a day in my life. She was like, no, it's Bass Reeves. And that's when I was like, oh, okay. So you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man, it's some dope shit that you know what I'm saying that we got in our history. So to find out that they actually came together to put this in, yeah, this is fire, bro.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't they name that movie that Mark Wahlberg didn't they call it The Lone Ranger? It wasn't a Western, but it was
no, I don't think Mark Wahlberg was in it. But I know Johnny Depp was the Native American dude. Because they came out with a Lone Ranger movie.
They did, but Mark played one. It's like I said, it's not a Western. I think it was a what the fuck was it? Well, yeah, see, I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, where Johnny Depp played Tonto.
Okay. That movie must be called something different because Mark played something, but he was like the last. He was in the military and like his whole squad got killed, and he was like the only person left. And I thought Lone Survivor. My bad.
Oh, I'm about to say I ain't never heard of that. Is that? I think I know you talking about the Lone Survivor, but not like man. When I tell you this shit was good, bro, like it's one of them movies that it's not corny. It's one of them movies to where like it ain't over the top. It's some shit on there where you'll be like, oh yeah, they really did their thing with this. Plus, it's good to see Jonathan Majors getting some, you know what I'm saying, getting some more roles. I know he got a huge role coming up soon with Marvel. So you know what I'm saying, that's gonna be dope. But yeah, man, it's just watching that movie, like, you know what I'm saying, it's some great shit in there. Lakeith Stanfield, bro. That nigga, man. Listen, bro. That nigga is the shit. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Lakeith Stanfield is that nigga, bro. He might be real super eclectic and weird and shit. I know people be kind of side-eyeing that nigga, but when it comes to acting, that nigga is the truth, bro. It's this, he got a scene in the movie, and I'm about to spoil it. If y'all ain't see it, y'all better go watch it. But he got this scene in the movie. Well, I'm gonna try not to spoil it. And basically, they supposed to be robbing this train, right? So, you know what I'm saying? These niggas is talking shit. Like, one of the dudes get up and he like, y'all not about to rob this train or whatever. So the dude get up, so he get this nigga like an ultimatum, like, listen, You could, and he ain't yelling, screaming. He talking just as smooth as I'm talking. He like, listen, we can make this as easy as you want to. You can get out the way and let us rob this train, or I could choose violence and I could hurt you. So the nigga get to talking, and the dude had a letter opener on his lap that was sitting down. This nigga grabbed the letter opener and sliced this nigga calves up, wiped the shit off and put it back on dude's shit. And the old dude just fell down. I was like, oh shit. I was telling you, bro. Lakeith Stanfield did a great job in this movie. Regina King did a hell of a job in this movie. Jonathan Majors did a great job in this movie, man. So did Idris Elba. Zazie Beetz did too. Oh, that's what I meant to say. The cast. RJ Cyler is I forgot what he played on. Hold on. Oh, he was the Blue Ranger in Power Rangers. In the newer Power Rangers.
The newer one?
Yeah.
I seen it. I only watched it like once though.
Yeah, he was the Black Blue Ranger in the new Power Rangers movie. Yeah.
It just sounds funny.
Yeah, bro, because remember when he came out, that threw everybody off. Like, hold on, wait a minute. Billy a black dude now? Instead of making him the Black Ranger, which they should have kept, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. But nah, man, RJ Cyler, he did a great movie. He did a great job, too. He played Jim Beckworth, who was supposed to be the fastest gun in the West. So he did a good job doing that. So, I mean, man, they all did a hell of a job, bro. It was good to see, you know what I'm saying, an all-black cast and a legit all-black cast. Like, not to the only time you seen white people in that movie was in the beginning, and after that, it was a wrap. No bullshit.
That's what's up, man. I'm definitely going to jump on that tonight, though.
Yeah. So, man, this episode, man, we doing a documentary. This documentary is on Netflix. You guys can check this out, and you can let us know how you all feel about it. It's called Why Did You Kill Me? This is a story of a murder, and the victim's family uses social media to basically track down and investigate the murder on their own. Of course, the police had, you know what I'm saying, some involvement as well, but they basically kind of solved all of this shit on their own. Just by, you know what I'm saying, being on social media and hitting the DMs. This is the crazy part about it all. These niggas is in the killer's DMs.
Dude, listen to me. Well, it was you know, the murder of Crystal Theobald.
Yep.
I think she was 24 at the time.
I think so.
And basically it ended up being just it was gang members basically gunning for each other, but it was set up. No, that was after. I'm going too fast. But like basically, man, these gangs.
You was on the right path because all this shit was an accident.
Yeah, it was an accident, and like they were just basically wrong place, wrong time.
Yep.
Like that was literally wrong place, wrong time.
Yep.
They would just end up getting caught in the middle of something where people thought that they had something to do with it, and you know, she took the bullet. This I know this is gonna be an odd place to start.
Mm-hmm.
I've been thinking about this shit since I got done watching it, and I want to talk about how trash Rick Wheeler is. You know what I'm saying? Rick Wheeler is the detective.
Yeah.
That's on the case, right?
Yeah.
This is where this didn't help. This didn't help Rick at all. Okay, and I don't think Rick. I mean, I know cops are supposed to be smart, but like Rick, this don't help you at all. Rick starts out. The very first thing he says is, you know, how they do this Grim Reaper thing that they, you know, whoever got the next murder,
mm-hmm.
they put the Grim Reaper at your desk, and then when the next murder come in, you up.
Mm-hmm.
So Rick is like, all right, so this wasn't my first case. This was my second case. And what does Rick say? The first case is still open because we haven't found the guy. So then they give him another case. in the damn family solved the case, and Rick taking the credit for it.
Pretty much.
Rick is trash, man.
That's pretty much what this documentary is. No bullshit.
Rick is trash.
Yeah, documentary is basically Rick helping to narrate how this family did his goddamn job. I'm glad you said something because I'm sitting here the whole time watching this shit like, wait a minute. These motherfuckers is doing all the work.
All the work.
Then they barely even going back and telling Rick anything. So all this nigga Rick is doing is getting the suspects and interrogating them. And the little bit of information he get from them is basically what he going off of. Meanwhile, they back at the house on MySpace getting all the information. I'm talking about, listen, this is a story of setups, revenge, drugs, gangs, all kind of shit is going on in this goddamn city, man.
It's all types of shit going on. And like the deeper it goes in, the deeper and deeper you say like, oh shit, like because like you think what makes this murder special to where, you know what I'm saying, they make a whole documentary about it. Mm-hmm. So then the further and further you get into it, you like, oh, okay, this ain't no normal shit. Like, like I see why they made this a documentary because the further and further you get on, you find out like, so the mother, which is Brenda, right?
Belinda.
So Belinda, I'm sorry. Yeah. So Belinda, we didn't understand at the very beginning. You don't understand why she had this belief in police.
Hold on, wait a minute. Who didn't understand? I knew when I first seen it pop up on the screen what was going on.
Well, I mean, do we want to do
that? No, it wasn't even a face thing. It was just her talking, her mannerisms. I said, "Oh, she on that shit."
Well, yeah.
Or she was on that shit.
Well, she was on it, and you know what I'm saying. It affected her in a bad way. But we
Big
found out
because she got fiend tendencies.
I'm telling you, man, it's terrible. I wouldn't even wanted to do this documentary. Her or her son Justin. No. Neither one of them should have did this shit.
All three of them got fiend tendencies.
Yeah. But like what I mean by that was the fact of when Krista was first shot, you know what I'm saying? They drove her brother, what was her brother's name? So her brother Justin. They drove into like this convenience store. It's camera, it's a camera pointing right towards the car. So when the police get there, they're like right off the rip, they ain't fucking with the police. And you're like, okay, why these people ain't fucking with the police? Even if you're a user, it's like whatever. Like I don't see why you really don't want the police involvement. Then we find out all three of her sons, all of them motherfuckers have been in and out of jail, locked up, drug charges, all types of shit. This bitch now got locked up for some drug charges, all types of shit. So it's like, oh, okay. Now we see why they don't fuck with the police. It's because the police been locking their ass up for years. And then they also at the same time, it's like, yo, we want our own justice on our daughter getting fucked up. Now, one thing that did piss me off about this, and this is just let you know how more fucked up and trash Rick Wheeler is. This family basically go out on their own. You know what I'm saying? And we'll get deeper into it, but her 14-year-old niece, wasn't it? Yeah, niece. Jamie sets up a MySpace page and starts adding all these dudes from the 5150 gang, and we're not talking about 5150 podcast. We talking about we talking about the Latino gang wherever these motherfuckers are from. It's at Riverside. Wasn't it Riverside?
Riverside, California.
Yeah, Riverside, California. So then she goes for adding all these guys and basically creates this fake page of this Latino girl at first. But they wasn't really able to get anything deep with that. So then they start using Crystal's picture and named her Angel. Now I'm gonna get back to my point. But like they go and do this stuff and they don't tell Rick immediately, but then they end up telling him, but they also telling him like basically we want our own type justice, and Rick don't do nothing.
No, let me tell you about Rick. Rick ain't shit. Because Rick had one of the suspects. I think it was
Jokes.
Jokes, when he had Jokes, made a deal with this nigga, but the deal ain't even no concrete deal. This nigga said, well, I told him that if he gave me any information, I'd let him go. And he did. So I had to. No, the fuck you didn't. You the police, man. You didn't have to do a goddamn thing. You could have locked that nigga up right there on the spot. The fuck are you talking about?
What? You never. This is what kills me about it, is the fact that he was like, oh, I made him a promise. What about the promises that the damn New York PD said to goddamn to the Central Park 5? They told them lies to get them to say shit. Then they said shit. And they locked them up.
What about the promise you made to the family to find this lady's killer?
Yeah,
and like, what is this nigga talking about, man?
I'm watching this and I'm like, yo, but I'm also ticked off at the point of let's be honest here. You know what I'm saying? We real on this podcast, and we ain't trying to make it this, but come on, man. If this was a Black or Latino family, like, yo, we gonna seek our own justice. Man, we'd be locked up so damn quick, man.
Not even that. A Black or Latino family addicted to drugs, talking about that own shit. Then this is the shit that tripped me out. These niggas call her, yeah, so your sons ain't thinking about getting their own justice, are they? Like, she gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, like I'm gonna say, yeah.
What are you talking? She was on phone, she was like, no, they should be good. He was like, okay, just making sure. We wouldn't want anything to get out of hand. Bruh. You know that these niggas have been in and out of jail. You know they about that shit. You know that the 5150 is also about that shit. What are you talking about?
Yo, I'm watching this and I'm like, man, this shit is nuts. Like watching it for the second time around, it's like, yo, and I didn't realize this the first time around when I watched it, that how bad of a cop Rick was. It's like, dude, you are a terrible detective, dude. Yeah. Like, I don't even see how you still got a job, my guy. But so then, look, we got to get into Jamie, yo. Like, my oldest son just turned 14. Mm-hmm. I cannot imagine my oldest son creating MySpace, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, but creating the damn MySpace page, going on here and faking being two different people and actually trying to
solve a fucking
murder case of her cousin.
First 14. Off, the fact that she was solving a murder case on MySpace with two separate profiles, that's who they need to be hiring. She should have a job at the Riverside PD.
Exactly. She needs to take Rick's job. She needs to be the detective because she did all the work, and then this girl's talking about she's up at 1 and 2 a.m. fucking talking to these damn gang members. Like, where are your parents?
Apparently they're not around. And then wait a minute, this is the person that I have a question of. This Christy lady, Belinda's friend.
Oh,
Christy looked like the real life version of Mike Myers. the mask with the eyebrows, that's what Christy looked like. and yes, if y'all asking, yes, Christy was also on them drugs.
Yeah, she was on that shit too.
So this is basically a family of addicts trying to seek justice for the one person in their family who wasn't
an addict
because she was accidentally killed by a Hispanic gang. Yo. All because of a bad tip that somebody gave off in the game. The wild part for me is listening to the gang members. Mm-hmm. These are the worst gang members. These niggas is trash gangs. They trash gang members. First off, what's dude's name? Is it William? It ain't William. Manuel or Manuel, whatever that nigga name is. Manuel Loomis. Lemus, whatever his nigga name is. He is the biggest snitch there ever was.
I don't know. His big brother.
No. See,
William was the big brother. Manuel was the little brother.
That's Rascal.
Yeah, Rascal. He was the snitch first.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
Remember?
Manuel is on the documentary. He's the biggest snitch. They don't even know where Rascal is.
But this is the thing about Rascal. That they show him. Mm-hmm. So Little Rascal was in the other room, and they was telling, you know what I'm saying, Tripper, which is Manuel, they telling him like, yo, your brother just told us everything. And remember, he was in the room pissed off because he didn't say nothing. And then they brought his brother into the interrogation room with him. And he was like, yo, I wanted to jump over the table and, you know what I'm saying, basically kill him myself because he was in there holding it down, but his brother told everything. Because remember, Tripper didn't say nothing at first.
No, not at first.
Yeah, but when he came, they had attacked his who did they kill?
They didn't kill nobody. Remember, they
blew up his mama's house.
No, they sent everybody over there. They didn't do nothing. They ain't messed the house up. They just sent everybody over there because remember he called the police. William called the police.
Damn, are you sure?
Yeah, because remember, it's two things that happened when they got out the precinct. They got Manuel and they had him at the park and they was asking him, how did you and your brother get out so fast?
Yep.
And then they said, well, your brother was in there longer than you and y'all got out at the same time. So they thought that they both had snitched. So then that's when they said, we got to kill your brother. And they asked him, what will happen if we kill your brother? And he said, well, it'll be the same thing as if I killed your brother. Then the second thing, they start sending everybody to the house and the dad, not Rascal, but the dad had called the police, and he was like, "It's some kids outside. They dressed in all black, and they surrounding the house." And he said, "We getting out of there." But remember when he left? I mean, they had let them leave because they didn't want no beef with the parents. They just wanted the sons, but they wasn't there, so they was able to get out of there. Because when he was on the phone with the police was like, "Are you going to stay there?" He was like, "No, I'm not going to stay there. I don't got nothing to do with this." So then they left out. And then that's when they called Manuel and them and told them what happened. And then that's when he was like, all right, I'm going to the police. I'm about to tell them everything now because now y'all threatening my parents. So that's when they decided to testify. If it wasn't for him, it would have just been whatever William had said.
True. Yeah, because he was the one who was actually in the courtroom. So yeah, I see what you're saying, but it's like
he was on the documentary.
Yeah, and he was on the documentary. I'm just saying
trash facial hair, by the way.
Oh man, it was like it was way too long or some shit. Like it was like, and it was spotty. It was just weird.
It was too thin. It looked fake.
Yeah, man. And then he's talking about how
he looked like he was in witness protection the whole time during this interview. By the way, he looked like he was in witness protection like a mug, bro.
Oh man, this shit is crazy, man. This shit is crazy. Okay. Let's pause for a second. We haven't had a chance to speak about the victim in this. So, Crystal was the youngest of four, and she had three big brothers. So you know what I'm saying. I feel bad for the dude that was trying to smash that back in the day. So then she ended up. Her mama said that she was just a lucky girl. Played the slots with a 20. And won $3,500, my guy, and started a business. So this right here tells you right now, she is totally different from everybody in her damn family.
Completely.
Because she turned $3,500 into a business. Her family members would have turned $3,500 to a drug dealer, and he had a come up. You know what I'm saying?
They'd have turned $3,500 into a party.
I'm telling you. So she already had a different mind frame from everybody else in her family. And that's just crazy to think. Now you got me thinking like, shit, maybe I need to hit these slots again. But if she turned 20 into 3,500,
I don't know, man.
Yeah, but like, you know, it seemed like, and then, you know, she started a business with her husband. Her and her husband, that whole situation didn't work out. So that's why she ended up being back at, you know what I'm saying, her mom's house in the first place, was because her first marriage didn't work. And I gotta say, man, I hate to say it, but it seems like if she would have stayed married, this shit never would have happened. Facts. I just think her family was just her family really was like a sinkhole, dude. Like there are some people, even if they your family, I'm big on this. Like people be like, you know, me and my dad would be talking, and I'll say something. He's like, man, that's your cousin, that's family. I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? If they ain't, you know what I'm saying, making my life in a, go in a positive direction, I don't give a damn. We blood or not. I'm not fucking with you. That's just me. And I just felt like her family was a sinkhole, and her going back to them is unfortunate. But I think that none of this shit would ever happen. She would have never been near these people, because you could tell that you can just look at her.
Well, the one thing was the youngest brother Nick. He wasn't like that at first. Yeah. Until after she died. After she died, that's when he started, you know what I'm saying, getting on that same path. Because remember, after she died, he joined the rival gang of 5150. I think that's like MD or whatever they called him, or whatever they called him. That's the gang that he joined, which was odd to me because I think they was a Latino gang too.
I don't know what, because the thing is, Belinda got married to somebody else.
Ben Mariotti.
I don't know if they first dad wasn't Latino. Nah. I mean, you don't think so? Nah. You don't think not a chance? Okay. I'm just saying it could have been.
Nah, ain't nothing about these motherfuckers or anything to do with
Okay.
They white. You hear me?
Yeah, man. But it's unfortunate, man, because like anytime you got that one person that, I mean, like, dude, like her family, especially her younger brother, like, she could have took them on a different direction by saying like, yo, there's a different way. I just think that it says something for somebody, because remember, she died at 24. For somebody to hit a slot for $20, for $3,500 and start a business, like that just tells you right there, she could have changed the whole mind frame of this family, because sometimes all it takes is one.
Yeah, well, before she died, remember, like, that's what Jamie was saying. Jamie was like, that's the one that she always liked to hang around. Same thing with Nick. Remember, her and Nick was always around each other too. But they were saying, like, you know what I'm saying, they always stayed around her because, you know what I'm saying, she basically had everything together. And then Jamie was just saying that, you know what I'm saying, she looked up to Crystal. You know what I'm saying? She wanted to be like Crystal. So, you know what I'm saying, in a sense, that was kind of like her best friend in a way. And so, you know what I'm saying, like, after she died, then you kind of seen how everything started falling apart. And then, like, for the mom to even tell us, like, yeah, on the day she died, yeah, I was high.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And all Crystal was asking was for her, you know what I'm saying, to basically sober up. The mom, though, yo, she is a firecracker, to say the least.
I didn't expect that, but okay.
Yeah, she is something else. This lady. So, okay, real quick, let's get into this. So Jamie is basically the one behind the social media accounts, the 2 MySpace accounts, right? So they find out that the Angel account is the one that is basically getting the most traction. So basically, this is the account that they just start using. They start getting into it. Somehow, Belinda gets the login.
Oh, I know. So it's not somehow. Jamie basically broke down to the fact where she just couldn't do it anymore. So that's when she basically handed it down to Belinda, because like why would you even put this type of stress on a 14-year-old? You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't imagine putting my kids through some shit like that. I mean, I remember like going through my divorce and shit. Like, it was like things that I didn't tell them about that. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like to have a 14-year-old 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning on MySpace talking to these dudes, basically pretending to be another person, and she was kind of looking at it at first like, well, it was, kind of nice to, to try to play different people to have somebody else fall in love with you. So like, she was pretending to be somebody else and having these dudes because like the first profile that she created, that first Latino girl was just more of a party girl and they couldn't really get a lot from it. But she got to this jokes dude to basically like fall in love with her, and like I think it just got too much. And to think about and they didn't show us all the stuff that this girl was talking about. I wonder. I mean, I think that they made this thing a little PG-13.
Yeah.
I just wonder what sexual things was Jamie saying to this dude. You know what I'm saying? At 14.
Oh yeah,
they didn't show it to us.
Yeah,
but
the crazy part was the fact that when Belinda got a hold of this, she basically almost blew the whole thing.
Yeah.
She basically
was
started
wilding on there.
Yeah, like she basically turned the MySpace character into like this like rah-rah chick. Yeah. So she started talking about how other gangs was talking trash about them, how they wasn't gonna do nothing, they ain't shit, blah blah blah. And then out of nowhere, she was like, "Yeah, meet me at such and such and such." And they was like, "Oh, you know what I'm saying? You trying to get smoked?" But no. Go ahead.
You forgot something. Something. While she was doing that, she was like, "Yo, meet me. I drive a white."
Oh no. I ain't got to that part yet.
Okay. No, I ain't got to that part got to be mentioned. Okay.
She was saying, "Meet me at such and such and such," and it was like, "Oh, you trying to get fucked up?" You know what I'm saying? So then what she did was, remember, because she didn't tell them, she basically found a way to get into their group and then say that it was a party there, and that's where everybody was gonna be. So basically, it was like it was like a meal or some shit like that, like a old wind farmer. I mean, a wind what's that shit called? A wind
I know what you're talking about. I don't know the right term for it.
Yeah, I can't even think of it. But basically, it was basically like I'm calling it a wind farm, but it's when the little propeller things be, you know what I'm saying, out there for like the power or whatever. So it was basically what she started doing was she started Googling like how far are the police stations from this place? How far can a gunshot be heard? She was looking at like all the businesses around there. Like she was basically just trying to find out if she can go there, set them up, kill them, and get away scot-free, basically. So she basically gets into their group, posts a blog in their party, and says, you know what I'm saying, like basically we're gonna have a party out here, y'all should come out here, blah blah blah. And she was basically setting them up to get the drop on them. Well, her friend, I think her name was Christy. Yeah, Christy was like, "Yo, you getting a little bit too deep with this. You should stop." Now, before she even did this, before she even put the blog stuff up there, the detective was saying, "Hey, you know, you can't be doing that on there, talking to them like that. You're gonna blow our cover." I don't know why he said our cover, because he wasn't doing shit, but basically, you know what I'm saying, he was saying you're gonna mess up the whole investigation because you're gonna give y'all, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna give away what we got going on. So that didn't work. Went ahead, posted the blog party. So Christy talked her out of it because basically they was all gonna drive up there and they was basically just gonna shoot whoever showed up. So she was already out of control.
Yeah. But you still didn't mention the one part that I thought you was gonna mention. The other part that I was gonna mention was the fact that she had put on there, like basically like, "Yo, pull up. I drive a white Ford Expedition," right? So for the people that don't know, that haven't seen this, when Crystal got killed, everybody mentioned that there was a white Escalade. I keep saying Escalade, a white Expedition.
Yeah.
That was the prime, you know what I'm saying, prime suspect car or whatever. So Belinda's like, "Yo, basically pull up on me. I'm in this white expedition, and she's telling the other people,
No, it was a white Ford Explorer.
Ford Explorer. So, but the thing is, Rick, sorry ass, calls her because he's like, yo, we're starting to get a whole bunch of white Explorers shot up, blown up, all types of shit. Why is this bitch ain't locked up?
No. Did you see what she said though? She says, "Oh, yeah, I knew I was doing something. I knew I was getting somewhere because they were taking some action. So hell no, I wasn't going to stop." What?
And I'm like, and she's not in jail. There's, what do they call that crime, man? Damn it. It's not tampering with evidence. It's something, man. But it's
tampering with an investigation.
Yeah, like, bitch,
not even that.
You
putting people's lives at risk, bro. Who knows how many people was hurt in the midst of all that?
Yeah,
like somebody driving down the street in that car could have got shot at.
That's what was happening.
Yeah,
basically, you was a suspect just driving around in a white, basically SUV. To gang members, because they're like, oh, that's that motherfucker that was talking shit, and they just started lighting it up. That I thought that was another thing that showed me Rick was terrible. There's no way this dude's supposed to be a fucking detective, because that bitch supposed to be brought up on charges, because all types of charges she was supposed to be on, but they let that shit slide. I thought you was gonna bring that up, but like everything you said is true, and it's a good point. But at the same time, because she did do that, but like she put innocent lives at risk by trying to start this whole beef between these different gangs in Riverside, man. That shit was nuts.
Well, another thing that kind of was crazy, was crazy too, was the fact that she went through all that, and her sons was actually about to get out there and start, going toe to toe with him. But she made them promise not to. Now, my thing was, how do you go through all that you went through, and you had your sons out there that was willing to, go do something about it? And I get it, but you wasn't capable of doing nothing to them folks.
Yeah.
You was barely walking around moving.
And it's like, who do you think you are, lady? Like, I understand that, people have this whole thing to say, a mother's love and all this type of stuff like that. But yo, we talking about, man, look, you ain't Peppermint.
At all.
You know what I'm saying?
No, you ain't Ava. You ain't Pepper. You ain't you ain't none of them.
You ain't Kate. Like, you ain't none of these motherfuckers, man. Sit your old ass down. These damn messages gonna fuck you up. So then, like, we're gonna get back to Manuel. So he snitches, right? He tells everything. Man, there's 7 people in the car counting me. I was in the back with my brother. You know what I'm saying? He told the whole rundown of, when they parked the car, they got out. Julio jumps out, and he's standing on the curb.
Little Juera.
Yeah, and the whole thing with him was, and like we said, wrong place, wrong time. When they Saturn pulled up, Honda, when they Honda pulled up, with Crystal in it, they thought that they was with the other people that they would just chase it. And so this dumb motherfucker just started shooting at the Honda. It had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
And so Crystal gets struck in the back of the head. He jumped back in the car and everybody peel off.
Yeah.
So the one thing I understand it, they want to humanize it. They talk to his sister, and
fine.
Hey.
I'm sorry, man. His sister was bad, man.
Hey, but hey, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna leave it there.
Yeah.
So
she got controlled.
So they talking to her, like humanizing him and like talking about like how rough it was for them, and they showing a picture when he was actually going to school and shit. But I will say this though. I get what you're saying, but the one thing that's fucked up about gangs And we saw this in South Central.
Mm-hmm.
He had little young soldiers out there still in radios when they was like,
But
12, 13, 14 years old.
shit, he was young when it first started
That's what
happening.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then not only was he young, when you got these older dudes like, hey, hit this. Nah, I'm good. Hey, well, you can't join then if you ain't gonna hit it. So then, they smoking. Drink this. Nah, I'm good on drink. You can't get in if you don't drink. So now you got these young kids that are influenced by these gang members that are, you got them smoking and drinking at a young age. Their mind is still being developed at this time. And then you start adding these type of drugs that these people are doing. And she talked about, my brother completely turned into a totally different person. And I think that that's why it's so dangerous for very young kids to be starting these drugs. And I'm not making excuses.
Well,
I'm not the excuse person.
It's more than just the drugs though, because you got to remember, like at the time, remember he was like basically the father figure in the household too. You know what I'm saying? When his brother or when his cousin Mario started talking, when his sister, I think her name was like Amelia or something like that, when they was talking about him, because remember Mario used to be in 5152, and when they was, talking about him, they was just like, yo, we was the one. I mean, he was the one that we all looked up to. You know what I'm saying? We all wanted to dress like him. Wanted to be around him. When they got to high school, they was talking about, yo, that's our cousin, and you know what I'm saying? Like, so, so basically, he was the one taking care of everything, and it makes sense as to why it was so easy for him to get all of them around him, because if they already looking up to him like a big brother or a dad. And and all he got to do at this point is just be like, hey, go do this for me. You know what I'm saying? Of course they're gonna do it because he basically was the one raising them and taking care of them. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, not only that, he had to deal with basically helping his, helping his mom or helping their mom go through everything that they was going through. You know what I'm saying? He was also taking care of his family, that lived across the street from them. And then not only that, like you said, being around those older guys. You know what I'm saying? When Mario was talking about when he had got into it with the one older guy and the older guy stabbed him. And he said that the knife basically went in through the front and came out the back. Like, so he already going through these, through these rituals of, of a gang already. So when he gets a little bit older and then, it's his time to shine, like, yeah, he's going to be, a cold-hearted killer at this point because he's been basically groomed to be that.
Yeah. So I mean, look, I get it. And and I'm not the excuse person, but like the more and more you learn about like brain development and mental health and all this type stuff, and like to think of and then to have kids close to that age, it's like, yo, like I mean, like to this day, like my son will say something, I'm like, really, man? You know what I mean? Like their brains are still developing. You know what I'm saying? It's not fully there, man. And when you start adding drugs and alcohol to that shit that young and the influences that he had around him, I can see how he could jump out of a damn Ford Explorer and just shoot at a damn car and it's nothing to him. Because they interviewed him, like you said, they interviewed him, and Wheeler punk ass like, yo, well, I promised him if he gave me this information, I'd let him go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He let him go. So, but the thing is, he ended up getting caught. And so
no. He got caught later. So basically
I thought Jokes got caught later. Who got caught?
No. Both of them got caught later. Because remember they did the like they said they hit like 30 houses at the same time on the gang raid.
Yeah.
They basically locked up most of the members of the 5150. And then Julio was in Mexico. So they had to contact the authorities in Mexico to get him sent back. And then he was on trial. And so at first they was talking about the death penalty, but that's when Nick, who was the younger brother, was basically saying like, Mom, I hate him too, but we can't let them go through with the death penalty. We got to let him, you know what I'm saying? Basically, I looked at it like Nick was just saying like, if he get the death penalty, that's going to be the easy way out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He got to sit. He need to sit with his decision. And so eventually they said that they, so they told their lawyers that they want the death penalty off the table. That's when the judge took it off the table, and then that's when they went ahead and went on with the trial, and then I think some time later, that's when they had found Jokes.
Yeah,
Because remember,
and
she was
Jokes was
still
the
searching
driver.
for him. She was still searching for him and everything else. They ended up finding Jokes, and then I think he got some
24
time.
years later.
Yeah.
No, 22. Well, 20 something years later. Let's say 20 years something later.
Mhm.
They finally found that dude. He was in Mexico.
Now this is the
with the
crazy
whole
part.
family.
Yeah, this is the crazy part. When they had finally found the killer, Lil Huerta or Julio, right?
Mhm.
Bruh, 5 years passed.
Yeah. But then
5 years, bruh.
yeah, that's what I was saying. Like one of them was 5 years and the other one was 20 years.
Yeah, like
And
for
and
this
then
dude.
the crazy. Oh, go ahead, my bad. I was just gonna say, if for the dude that was 20 years later,
Yeah.
guess how they found him? She got a tip on Facebook.
Yep, on Facebook. That's all I was about to say. For this dude to be a damn detective,
Rick,
bruh, like you said, this wasn't a good look for you, my guy.
it wasn't.
You mean to
I
tell
wouldn't have
me
thought.
it took an overall of 20 years to get all of the people that you had, and then the one dude that it took you 20 years to get, you already had this nigga.
Had him and gave him away because he gave you information.
Oh my god. Like,
dude,
man,
I'm not showing my face, man. You know how when you be watching them documentaries and they be like such and such declined to be interviewed. That would have been me.
Yeah,
if I was Rick.
But this is and that's the crazy part too, because Manuel, whatever the dude's name was, he said that he was like, I don't know how many of them dudes is out there. He was like, he said I gotta watch my back to this day because I don't know, you know what I'm saying, who's still out there is 5150. So the fact that you know that they probably still out here looking for you, nigga, you get on Netflix.
One of the most popular streaming TV services that there are.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why I said, bro, that goatee that he had in them glasses, this nigga looked like he was in protective custody. So I don't know if all that shit was real or not, or maybe they put that on his face to make him look different. I don't know. I'm just saying it didn't make no sense to me if you think that they still out here looking for you for you to be on Netflix, as if they don't know what you look like without them goofy ass glasses on.
But how did they find him?
That's my point. That's my point. So if Netflix can find you, 5150 is on your ass. That's all I'm saying, bro.
Yo, man, this documentary, man, it was crazy. And then like the way that Belinda set it up, you know what I'm saying, for it to get the title. You know what I'm saying? Like she just finally said, you know, basically she wrote the dude. And then she was like, you know, do you love me? And then he was like, how you know I do? And then she was like, well, say it then. And so then he says, I love you. And then she says, then. And then she's like, why did you kill me? And then she goes on a whole, you know what I'm saying? She goes on one of those spells of like, you know what I'm saying? When a girl pisses you off, and then like she just keep texting, and like you don't respond, but she just keep texting. Belinda turned into one of those. Like she just kept messaging and messaging.
Had to blow all the cover.
Blown all the cover, and my man just went ghost, but just went ghost, man. So I mean, it's a real crazy documentary, man. But at the end of the day, it's like I cannot let it go, yo. Like Rick was a terrible detective. And it wasn't just this case. Like for him to even come out and say, like, yeah, it's the truth. But I'm not gonna sit here and admit to the world that my very first case as a detective, I didn't solve that shit. And now I'm on here talking about this other case that I basically did not solve either. But this family,
he didn't solve it.
Yeah, that this meth family solved my case for me.
Facts. There you go. Come on.
Like, yo,
listen, when you are sitting at home on meth, bro, these are the type of things you do. You start doing research. You start cleaning. You know what I'm saying? You start doing stuff that you shouldn't be doing for real, or you don't need to do for real. But yeah, for sure. Like it's not surprising that they had that much time to do that being on meth.
Yo, man, this shit is wild, man. You know, but hey, I can't even shout. I was about to say shout out to the Riverside Detective Department, but nah, but y'all don't even deserve a shout out. But
you can't even do that, bro. You ready for the Fire Flames, bro?
Let's do it, man.
All right.
Yoga Fire, Yoga Flame.
Whoo, I'll let you go first, man, because I don't.
Damn. You know how I am, man. I'm thinking about all the great documentaries that I've seen through these years and where this adds up. It was informative, and it also was, you know, a little odd. It's also a little disappointing. Some things that disappointed me. Damn, yo. I mean, you know, average. I'm gonna give it a 3. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't great, wasn't bad. You know what I'm saying? It was somewhere in the middle. It's just very disappointing to see that this meth family was able to get away with a lot of shit that they got away with.
Meth family.
Like, that shit is disappointing, man. And for Rick to be, I mean, look, I'm all for a detective looking terrible unless it got something to do with, you know what I'm saying, somebody in my family being murdered.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. It was average. You know, I'm gonna give it a 3.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna give it a 3.5. The story was very interesting. It kept my attention, especially with the meth family using MySpace to break the case. To me, this was kind of like a this was kind of like a it was kind of like a alley-oop off of Don't Fuck with Cats to me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, just the fact that, you know what I'm saying, they was doing all that on the internet or whatever. So I think that's the kind of the lane they tried to go down with this one. And yeah, I mean, it was definitely interesting. It shocked me that, you know what I'm saying, this 5150 gang was. This is probably the most unorganized gang in all of gang history.
They're arguing with a girl named Angel, my guy.
On MySpace.
What the fuck?
But not only that, they got snitches everywhere. One nigga is killing everybody. Like, I don't know, man. They didn't seem too gang oriented. They didn't seem too structured as a gang. So I don't know. They wasn't too believable to me. To me, it just sounded like a bunch of niggas that was together and they just did gang type things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they
didn't have no specific colors. They didn't really have like a flag. They didn't really have like no hand signals that, you know what I'm saying, no signs or nothing that they threw up. Like even the Lil Ware, I mean the Julio dude, this nigga was 1 minute you seen him throwing up a peace sign, then you seen him throwing up all fours, then he did like an L shape with his fingers, like he was just making shit up as he was going along. Because I know he was the head of the gang, but it just was like, yeah, it didn't seem like he really knew what he was doing. But outside of that, yeah, 3.5, man. It was for me. It was the terrible gang activity.
It was, man. They was. I mean, now don't get me wrong. They was popping that shit for real. But I was about to call them. They was like the first social media gangsters, man. Because it was just like, for y'all to be on here arguing with a girl, you know what I'm saying, named Angel, and y'all getting rowdy, talking about y'all gonna come to this.
Another thing too. One of the videos that they showed when they was burning the Explorers up, when they showed the YouTube page, they hashtagged jokes on there. Who hashtags themselves in activity on the internet? What the fuck is going on? What is that? I'm sure he didn't put that on there in real life, bro. I don't know, man. It was a lot of questionable things in this, specifically for me, the gang activity. It just to me they weren't a real believable gang because they was like when they initiated Tripper and Rascal in there, right? Their initiation was to make them drink and smoke and
then beat them up.
But it really wasn't even like beating them up. He said they tackled him to the floor. And he was like, "Yo, what is this?" And then he got up and they all hugged him and was like, "Yeah, man, welcome to the thing. We got your back." So it was like somebody just basically Bill Goldberg you, and then he was in the gang. I'm confused. Like that's not the real initiation. I don't know, man. It's just 3.5 for me, man.
Hey, man, the gang members from Colors would be disappointed, man.
Man, gang members from any movie or show or docu-series would be disappointed, man. Let's go to coming soon, bro.
Yes, sir.
Coming soon. Coming soon.
The next movie we got, man, coming soon to your AirPods, earphones, earbuds, is Real Gang Activity. You know what I'm saying? From the mean streets of Compton and the rest of LA.
And Watts, man.
And Watts. You know what I'm saying?
This nigga
straight up menace.
You acting like a real bitch right now.
You feel me? Straight up menace. Shout out to MC8. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Menace to Society. Yo, I didn't know that was MC8.
You didn't? Couldn't tell?
When I first seen this movie, I didn't know that was MC8 until I got older and realized who MC8 was. Because I always heard his music because my uncles and them loved West Coast music. So, like, they would always listen to, like, NWA, MC8, you know what I'm saying? Like, all that. Snoop Dogg and all them. And, you know what I mean? DJ Quick. Like, trust me, it was like a bunch of West Coast music. But, yeah, I didn't know what MC8 looked like until I seen this. And then I seen one of his videos before, and I was like, oh, shit, that's MC8. So, yeah, MC8, man, shout out to him. Straight up business. I was listening to that song earlier today, too. But,
that's what's up.
Yeah, man, this movie is, it is as real of a look as you can get into the streets of LA at the time. This was like a telescope looking into a timeline at the time. And I think this movie kind of encapsulated pretty much what was going on around, you know what I'm saying, not just the gang culture, but just the life of living in, you know what I'm saying, Watts and Compton and, you know what I'm saying, like all those different areas that, you know what I'm saying, surrounded and were in LA at the time to have to, you know what I'm saying, live in, you know what I'm saying, the projects or in the hood or whatever it was, you know what I'm saying, just to basically get by and, you know what I'm saying, get out of that lifestyle.
Man, very true, man. Very true, man. And it's a bunch of, like, this is one of those movies where it's a bunch of, like, quotable lines. Like, I know we usually do quotable lines from, like, comedic movies and stuff like that. But this movie got so many of them, man. And I got to shout out the Alphabets, man. The Alphabets dropped a EP, EP this year, early this year, and one of my favorite songs on the EP is called "TV Dinners." And like when the song first come on, it's a clip from this movie. Yeah,
that's what it was.
Was Old Dog talking about.
I thought it was Kane Granddaddy.
No. It was like look it up, dude. TV Dinners. It was Old Dog talking about. Because Kane kept talking about the tape, like him playing the tape. Yeah. He was like, he said, why you keep worrying about my motherfucking tape? Ain't shit gonna happen. He said, what we need to do is go smoke these dudes to smoke your cousin. You know what I'm saying? Like all that shit. So yeah, man. So it's a lot of quotable lines in here, man. Like especially if you listen to hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like
most famous line is, "I feel sorry for your mama."
Don't do that, man. Don't do that, man. Kane with this, man.
He beat the brakes out that man.
Yeah, man. But you know, that's how they treated them in the corner stores, man.
Facts, man. So Man, next Tuesday, y'all be ready for a fresh new episode, man. If y'all get a chance, make sure y'all go check out Why Did You Kill Me on Netflix. Tell us what you think on the socials, man. Yeah, maybe you can help us with some understanding of the Meth family. That shit is comedy to me, bro. But yeah, man, make sure you follow us on the socials as well. Check us out on IG and I don't know why I was about to say Twitch, IG and Twitter at View9Pod. Check us out on Facebook at VA Pod Watch Group. You can follow me on Twitter at Scoots Bronson. I do have an Instagram, but I don't really do too much on my Instagram anymore because I've been shadow banned, and I really don't care to get out of being shadow banned. Also, follow my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Scoots Bronson. Isolated Society goes live next weekend. So just be ready, man. That's all I got.
Yes, sir. Check out S.Foster8 on Instagram and Twitter at 28 minutes or less. At 28 minutes or less pod on Instagram, 28 minutes or less on Facebook. Also, it's on all major platforms. Go check out the last episode I dropped, you know what I'm saying, featuring Siege. Appreciate him for jumping on the pod with me. Really, man, that's pretty much it. Also, and if you want the visuals of that podcast, episode 63 with Siege, it is on Stolen Time Podcast Network, man. That's on YouTube.
Yes, sir, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for listening. We definitely appreciate it. See you next Tuesday. And like they say in Hollywood, that's a wrap.
Cut.